to play our first song, the opener. I'd like to teach the world to sing. If everyone who's able to, please stand up. Join us. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love, and grow apple trees and honey bees and snow-white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love, grow apple trees and honey bees and snow-white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Thank you.
What a lovely idea to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of New Westminster. It is lovely to see you all here today, and I am so glad that you are here. If you are joining us for the very first time, then a warm welcome to you. And if you are joining us and already consider yourself part of our community, hello, welcome back, welcome home. And if you are joining us online, either now, live, or sometime in the future, then hello from all of us here at Unity in New Westminster in beautiful British Columbia. I am Reverend Rhona Segarra, and it is my honor to be the spiritual leader, the minister of this beautiful, beautiful community of love and fun. We gather here every week to consider ideas for full and abundant living. We draw on the teachings of Jesus, who we consider our primary way shower and example. And we honor that there is wisdom to be found in faith traditions all over the planet. All are welcome here. All are worthy here. All are celebrated here. And our dream for you, our intention for you, our hope for you is that you leave here today with ideas for calm, connected, and contented lives. Let's begin our service today in a time of centering prayer. And if you hear the voices of little ones in the back, celebrate and enjoy that lovely childlike energy. So we begin with gratitude. Gratitude for this place, that we are on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Kakite First Nation. We gather here to sing, to laugh, to learn, to build community, and to be reminded of our oneness, one with each other, and one with the power in which we all live and breathe and have our being. We embrace the idea that there is only one power, that for some people that power has the name God. For Allah, for others it may be Yahweh, or Allah, or Creator, or Spirit, universe, quantum, science, life, nature. By whatever our understanding may be for the creative energy in which we live, we embrace the idea that it is one. There's no place that power is not. And that includes each one of us. It is from this awareness of our connection to each other in the one power that we extend a blessing for love and peace, for contentment to every being on this planet. We resolve to see beneath the differences that so often divide us. And we choose to connect heart to heart, uplifting each person with this blessing for healing, for a knowledge that they belong and they matter. And today we extend a special boost of prayer for people in our own community, for Jerry, for Laura, for Greta, for Heather, for Kyle. We embrace each person in love. And for this time together, for this opportunity to be reminded of our oneness with each other, we give thanks. We say Amen. I have to tell you that it absolutely brings joy to my heart to hear the sound of little ones in the sanctuary. I grew up in a church environment where the children had their own place, and there's a time and a place for that too, but there's something that is so magical about hearing the sound of little voices. So if you find them at times a little distracting, be okay with that. Bless it. We'll actually talk about strategies for that. And think about what it felt like when you were one of those little kids and how you might have wanted to be treated. I am going to read the daily word for us today. Today's daily word theme is intention. My intention is to act with love and kindness. Setting an intention, deciding at the start of the day to be loving, considerate, and compassionate colors all of my interactions and activities. It's making a commitment to myself that no matter how the day unfolds, no matter what happens, and no matter what other people may do, I will remain steadfast. I begin with God. After a time of prayer and meditation, I envision divine love opening my heart and kindness inspiring my words. The sacred connection I feel in prayer elevates me above the cares and concerns of daily life, making it easier for me to be serene and unperturbed by any irritations I encounter. My intention is to carry the gifts of spiritual living with me always, my blessings to share. I act with steadfast love, justice, and righteousness in the earth, for in these things I delight, says the Lord. This reading was inspired by the words in Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 24. And now, let's enjoy the song, The Secret of Life, with Mr. Carl.
The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. Any fool can do it. There ain't nothing to it. Nobody knows how we got to the top of the hill. But since we're on our way down, might as well enjoy the ride. The secret of love is in opening up your heart. It's okay to feel afraid, but don't let it stand in your way. 'Cause anyone knows that love is the only road. And since we're only here for a while, might as well show some style. Give us a smile, isn't it a lovely ride? Sliding down, gliding down, try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride. Now the thing about time is that time isn't really real. It's just your point of view. How does it feel for you? Einstein said he could never understand it all. Planets spinning through space, the smile upon your face. Oh, welcome to the human race, some kind of lovely ride. I'll be sliding down, I'll be gliding down, try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride. Isn't it a lovely ride? See me sliding down, gliding down, try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride. Now the secret of life is enjoying the passage of time.
Thank you, Carl. As we prepare ourselves to hear today's message, I invite you to close your eyes with me if that feels comfortable. And if you prefer your eyes to remain open, then allow them just to rest gently on a place in front of you. And consider your breath. Notice how you breathe in and out in this beautiful cycle of giving and receiving of life. Take a moment now to give thanks for your breath. that breath that cleanses you and rejuvenates you. That we take for granted all too often. Yes. Now with every breath, allow your body to sink a little deeper into the seat, onto the bed, whatever surface is supporting you. And with every breath, allow your body to sink a little deeper, to feel a little heavier, until whatever you're seated on or resting on supports you fully. And then invite your thoughts to be still. Notice they always are at work. So invite them, those busy thoughts, to just rest a little more. And then consider the wisdom of these words, the secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. The secret of life is enjoying the ride of time. Imagine your heart opening to receive those words and their wisdom. Imagine that passage of time as we journey through life. Where is our focus? Is it on the rear view mirror? Looking back? Is it on the front windshield looking forward? Seeing the possibilities, seeing the beauty around us. Is it in the present moment, squeezing the joy out of every day? In the wisdom of your heart, ask yourself the question, where can I enjoy the ride of life more? Secret of life. Enjoy the passage of time. squeeze the day. Find every juicy, joyful moment and bring it into your body and your heart and embrace it with vigor. The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. What a ride. Amen.
Sometimes we hold on too tight to things we'd rather let go. We hold on for dear life when our intuition tells us to go with the flow. We choose the comfort of pain. We think it's keeping us sane. Gonna break down the door, gonna wage my own war, gonna give up these holding on blues. I'll let go the illusion, 'cause I've reached the conclusion. Sometimes life is all about letting go. Letting go. Why hang on to bad love? Why hang on to the past? Why believe in empty fantasies as we cling to the lies that keep us tied to the mast? Sometimes the solace of pain keeps us from going insane. Gonna break down the door, gonna wage my own war, gonna give up these holding on blues. I'll let go the illusion, 'cause I've reached the conclusion. Sometimes life is all about letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. That song was written by Carl, and it's beautiful. Beautiful song. I particularly like the line about the distractions actually sometimes helping us to shield ourselves from pain. A few years ago, several years ago now, we were trying to decide what we were going to do for New Year's Eve. And I wanted to go, it was in the pre-COVID days, I wanted to go to this big event they were going to be holding in downtown Vancouver. It was going to be like a roaring 20s party with hundreds of people there, but it looked like it would be totally fun. Like, I enjoy lots of people, so that was what I wanted to do. My husband, Walt, did not. So he wanted to go. He just wanted to stay home and kind of just relax. So we had a little bit of a negotiation and decided we were going to go out for dinner, and then we would walk and see the fireworks that one could see near Science World. So we were at the keg. We planned to go to the keg at Granville Island, and then we were going to walk to see the fireworks. Great. Neither of us got 100% of what we wanted, but we both found something that we both could enjoy together. Aces. We get to the dinner, we start chit-chatting with the waiter, and we look at the time, and it is 5 minutes to midnight, and we're still in the restaurant. And it was all because the waiter was wonderful, and he was interested in astronomy, and Walt's interested in astronomy, and there was just this chit-chat, and then we look at the time. So then we make this crazy dash out of the restaurant, and hear the fireworks going and the bells clinging and all that stuff as we're in a tiny little dark alley in the middle of Granville Island. So in this time where I had envisioned all of this fanfare, and he had envisioned kind of putting up with me, at least with fireworks, we end up in this place that's in the middle of nowhere, enjoying the darkness. So I was telling my sister about this the following day. I was a little disappointed, but you kind of roll with it. And I was telling her the following day about this experience, and she said, "Oh, the reason that it upset you a little is because you were attached to the vision that you had." And it was like, there's my firework that just went off. Have you ever had that experience where you just have this sort of flash of, oh, that's what happened? That's what happened for me that night. And so even though this was 10 years ago, if not more, it is a story that I've told often because it's a story that has held so much impact for me. And I realized, if I were to be truly honest about it, there was a part of me that was kind of grumpy about this not working out the way I wanted. Like, I was okay with it, but I wasn't really the best company, shall we say. Isn't it funny how sometimes when we have a picture in our mind about how things should go, or how we want them to go, or how we envision that it might be, that it doesn't always work out that way. Life gets in the way of these pictures. And sometimes it leads us to be kind of bitchy or grumpy. I know you don't hear that very often from up here, unless you know me, then you do. But have you noticed that that's happened in your life? That if things don't quite go the way you want, and you kind of carry it with you. I named today's talk Mind the Gap. And it's inspired by the underground tube railway rail line in London, England, where if you go from the platform to the train, they have these signs everywhere that say, "Mind the Gap." And what they're trying to remind people to do is to pay attention to the gap between the train and the platform. They don't want people to trip. And I thought, we can use that. I can use that. This idea of the gap being the thing that can sometimes trip us up. So what is the gap that I'm talking about? Well, I'd like you all to imagine a page of paper. And at the top is your expectation, your vision, your dream, your fantasy, whatever word you want, about how things ought to be. And at the bottom of the page, imagine reality, what actually happened. And to the extent that these two things, reality and expectation, are far apart, the bigger the gap, the more we suffer. The more grumpy we are, the more grumpy we behave, the more the people around us suffer because of our behavior, the more we suffer. Because we sometimes don't see the beauty in the moment. So imagine this idea of expectation, reality, and the gap. Imagine then that that gap is the measure of your misery. And I literally think of it this way. I literally think of the more the gap is, the more I'm going to suffer. Think of these common expectations that we have. For example, if I do the work and do all the preparation, the project will flow smoothly. If they care about me, they'll call me back, or call me on my birthday, or tell me they care about me, or send me a gift, or invite me for coffee. If, then. If they're my friend, they'll never say bad things about me. If they're my spouse, they'll never say bad things about me. I know, I can hear you laughing. And why are we laughing about these things? Because we know it's not realistic. Because what's realistic is most of the time, our spouses will say nice things about us, but once in a while they're going to say things that aren't quite that pleasant. Once in a while, the project will go perfectly because of all the prep work we did, and once in a while, it ain't gonna go perfectly despite all our preparation. Even though people care about us, they may not always show it. So we have these expectations that are lofty, fantasy, Cinderella, Disneyland type of ideas. They'll live happily ever after. But reality is, yes, they'll live happily ever after most of the time, and once in a while, they're going to be really angry at each other, and they're going to see things differently, and they're going to have different moods, and have different grumpinesses that they each have to navigate, and so on, and so on, and so on. When the reality doesn't meet our fantasy, our expectation, we may feel upset, just a little, or a lot. We may worry, we may fret, we may feel anxious, we may stress out. And yes, we might get a tad grumpy. So this space is an important gap to notice. The good news is that the gap is something that we can work with. So in Buddhism, I mentioned that they say attachment is the root of all suffering. That suffering grows when we cling to how things should be, instead of actually meeting life where life is on life's terms. It doesn't mean that we don't care, by the way. It doesn't mean even that we aren't interested in the outcome. What it does mean is if reality isn't meeting our expectation, then we need to manage our expectations so we can respond and be responsible, as opposed to react. then we can meet this moment with poise, with equanimity, with the sense of, oh, this happened. Now what am I going to do? As my friend Martha Creek says, SW, SW, SW. Some will, some won't. So what? Sometimes things will go your way, sometimes they won't. What are you going to do about both? Imagine, though, that the reason there is this gap is man-made. I think of them literally as bubbles. And what those bubbles are BS, our belief system. And what's true is that your belief system may not be the same as your belief system. And that means that it can be changed. And it's up to each one of us to decide how we're going to adjust this measure of misery. So imagine we have bubbles, expectation, beliefs that are holding this expectation up, and then reality. The goal is to try and identify what those bubbles are, bubbles of belief, if you will, and then ask yourself, is this really something that serves me well? Imagine the bubbles being things like, this shouldn't be happening. They almost always have a should, shouldn't, ought not to, that sort of judgment in there. They should know better. If I did my part, this would be easier for everyone. Well, that may be true. This always happens to me. Expectation. I'm not spiritual enough because I'm feeling angry. It's a bubble. You're angry. Your expectation is you're not angry. You'll never be angry because you're a spiritual person. Well, yeah, you're a spiritual person and you're a human person because spiritual and human is the same thing. It's not separate. And in our humanness, there are times when we are joyful, maybe most of the times that we are joyful, and then once in a while there's just something that kind of irritates us. So what? The worst thing we can do for ourselves and for the people around us is to then add to the measure of misery by laying over yet another expectation that says, I'm not allowed to be angry, as opposed to, oh, I have a heartbeat. I'm human, and I'm having a moment that is angry right now. Completely different in our embracing of the flow of life. The good news is the closer we are able to allow reality and expectation to come together, the more able we will be to just enjoy the moment for what it is. Acceptance. And then from that place of acceptance, we can decide where we want to move next, how we want to be in this moment. Imagine being less likely to be offended, less likely to be worried about what other people think, less worried about our ability to respond when life throws a curve that we didn't expect. It means that when others do us some kind of harm, when they sin against us, that we'll be able to see it, take it, and choose how to be with it. because there are times that we will be betrayed. There are times that we will be abandoned. There are times when people are going to say things that kind of sting. Can we adjust our expectations, manage our expectations to meet life on life's terms, which includes Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end, A to Z. And when we end up falling short of our own goals, when we sin, if you will, against ourselves, we'll be kinder to ourselves if we can meet ourselves on life's terms. So how do we do this? If I've convinced you that each one of our bubbles may be different, therefore those bubbles are optional, and they're also malleable. They can be popped and shifted and resized in various ways to bring reality into alignment with expectation. And if I've encouraged you to see that the gap is where our misery lies, then the next question, obviously, is how do we adjust? How do we burst these bubbles of belief? Jesus gave us a couple of examples of this. My favorite is what he said on the Sermon on the Mount, when he said, come to terms with your accuser while you're on the way to court with him, or your accuser may hand you over to the judge, and the judge will hand you over to the guard, and you will be thrown in prison. Now that sounds like, how is that possible that I'm going to the court with an accuser and I'm the one who's going to suffer? This is why. Because if we are judging and finding lack, finding the gap, then we're the ones who are miserable, grumpy, anxious, stressed. And sure, we sometimes allow some of that to dissipate. And how do we allow it to dissipate? We put it on everybody else. And so then they become miserable and stressed and so on. This is not the life we want. The key is come to terms with your accuser quickly. The accuser within you. And when you do that, when you come to terms with the should, shouldn't, it doesn't mean that you like it. It means that you know you're going to be with it. And Unity's third principle is ideas lead to experiences. So the idea of should, shouldn't, this shouldn't be happening, all of that can lead to that experience. So how do we shift these ideas? Come to terms with your accuser quickly. And where do we see it most powerfully in Jesus' example? In the Garden of Gethsemane. The night before he was executed, Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane. He goes to pray. And what does he say? Take this cup from me. I don't want it. I don't want it. Now, can you imagine a person like Jesus, totally committed to his religion, to his God, to his belief system, about to undergo the most excruciating pain. Expectation that he might have, if I were him, would be, I did everything right. Why is this happening to me? And yet, what did he do? He prayed. And then, at some point, he accepted reality. That this was bigger than he could understand. Not my will, but thine be done. So, I'm going to give you a few ideas about popping these bubbles of belief that you might have. First, I'm going to encourage you to notice when it happens. And it happens any time that you're feeling a little irritated. So notice the irritation and go, oh, what was I expecting here? That's sort of step one. And you'll see up on the board, and I have some papers, copies of this if you want. I have paper copies over there if you want of this page that you can take with you, and you can fill it out to your heart's content and make it your own. So first step is to notice your expectation. And then the second step is to ask the question, is this universal? Is it a fact, or is it something that is a belief that I've made up? If it's a fact, then it doesn't matter whether it's you or you or you. Looking at it, we can all agree that it happened. That's fact. That would be reality. The belief is all the stuff that you might see differently, and you might see differently. And so those are the places where the suffering is and where we have the opportunity to change them. It's as if the suffering comes after the comma. Because what we have is, this happened, comma. They didn't call me, comma. And that means they don't like me, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And, insert misery here. The good news about it is that you can change it. And because you're making up a story, you might as well choose a story that makes you feel better. So find a story of when did I not call somebody back? Well, maybe it was when I was sick. Or maybe I had so many other things that I simply forgot. Oh, maybe that's why they haven't called either. That feels like less of a gap, less of a painful story that I'm telling myself. So take time to be still, notice the expectation and the gap, and then ask yourself, is it a story or is it a fact? If it's a story, choose another possibility, something that is more peaceful for you. If you have a hard time with it, one of the most powerful things that I've done is to ask myself, what is the next most loving thought I can have in this situation? Doesn't mean I have to go and sing Kumbaya with them, but what's just one tiny step towards a slightly more peaceful understanding of what's happening? Next question. Am I dehumanizing somebody else with this judgment? Because if I'm making my expectation more important than your expectation for your life, then I'm dehumanizing you. It is disrespectful. It is not honoring the fact that each person is their own person. Have I ever done anything similar? And how did I want to be treated when I did that? The example that I gave about not calling someone back. There are times when I haven't called people back, I'm fortunate because I haven't had anyone ever turn away from me because of that. They'll know that it was not something that is my intention. Well, if they don't call you, could you assume a kind intention or a good intention as well? This is that golden rule, you know, the one that we see in all religions, in different words. And we find it in the Sermon on the Mount with Jesus. So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. Do unto others. Not before they do it to you. That's in certain countries. But do unto others as you would have them do to you. And then the final one, I should give you this picture. Oh yeah, thank you, Glenn. Is ask yourself in the midst of this, what can I be grateful for? So think of this New Year's thing, this New Year's celebration that kind of went into a New Year's not quite celebration. We had a lovely dinner. We were fortunate enough to have a lovely dinner in a lovely restaurant, speaking to a lovely person who was a student passionate about something that connected him with my husband. Isn't that something to be grateful for? Isn't that as important as seeing some fireworks somewhere? It's like the strongest little arrow that you can push at these bubbles of belief is to find something to be grateful for. And remember, with every one of these bubbles getting squished down or popped, the level of discomfort and dis-ease vanishes, becomes less. Even in disappointment, there is usually something redeeming that can be found. It could be a warm meal. It could be a lovely conversation with a friend. It could be the medical research that is helping to heal whatever diagnosis is miserable for us. Gratitude pops the bubble that says everything is wrong about this. And then one last one, other than just plain acceptance, of course. I say that as if it's just obvious, but of course it isn't. But what if this is just a moment? Oh, what if you can just do what Reverend Joy used to say all the time, which is, oh, well. And just like, oh, okay, so that's what happened this time. It doesn't mean it's forever. It doesn't mean that you have to love it or that you have to like it or even that you have to hate it. It's just a thing. Simply accept. And let's not be intolerant of those whose behavior we see as intolerant. This one's hard for me. Because if I see someone who is being kind of miserable themselves or grumpy or having a moment, I have a tendency, I sure hope I'm not alone in this, but I have a tendency to go, man, you're being really miserable. And it's actually affecting me by saying that, as opposed to, oh, they're not having a really good time right now. In my judgment, I'm actually adding to the misery. Good luck with that one. And if you can, be okay with it when you find yourself judging, because you don't need to beat yourself up about it. You're just going to be okay with it and try a different way next time. Jesus said, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." Let us not be judgmental too much about ourselves and about others. So remember that some things will go our way. Some things won't go our way. The only thing we can control is, what do we do with them? What do we do with it? So notice when the grump shows up, it means there's a bubble that's being touched or that's holding something up. It's an invitation for you to look at what it is. And how can you make it smaller? Pause. Name the expectation. Notice the gap. And then check your belief systems and see if you can find ways to pop some of those bubbles that don't serve you well. Find one thing to be grateful for. Remember a time that you've done something similar. Stay in your lane. Let them have theirs. You take care of yours. Do what you can to mind the gap. That's where we get tripped up. That's where the grump lives. And peace begins when we stop fighting reality and instead we meet it with compassion and with kindness. Mind the gap. I bless you.
Paul McCartney said it really well when he wrote, "Let it be." When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, now let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, now let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, now let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Now let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Now let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be.
Thank you, Carl. Here are today's announcements. I invite you all to join us tomorrow between 4 and 4:45 on Zoom for our Monday meditation. During that time, we check in with each other, we enjoy a guided meditation, and then we uplift and acknowledge each person on our prayer list. To add a person to the prayer list, please fill in a prayer request slip that you'll find in your welcome package. We have some newly designed ones that are prettier. And we're asking you to please add the person's first name and then their last initial, because there are some people whose first names are the same, and we want to make sure we're capturing everyone. You can also send us an email, or on our website, you can submit a prayer request, or on our app. And just so you know, the names stay on our list for 60 days, and then they are sent to Silent Unity for another 30 days of being held in sacred space. And Silent Unity's prayer vigil is available to all of you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by phone or by email. You're also invited to become a member or to renew your membership right here at Unity of New Westminster. It is free, and it allows you to vote at our annual meeting, which will be held in April. To activate, fill in the paper membership form, or you can go onto our website in the About section. And we're asking everyone to please do that by February 15th. And for those of you in the know with technology, if you take a picture of the QR code on the screen, it'll take you directly to the membership page. Please note the date change and mark your calendars now for a special event on Sunday, March the 1st. After the Sunday service, we're going to gather and have a community circle and also make it into a brainstorming session. What I'd like to do is to consider some of the things that happen here every Sunday, things that happen in the outreach that we do to each other as well as to the community, and to brainstorm not just what we do, but what we could do better. And so I think it'll be a super fun day. I'm going to invite you all to be here for this. And we'll look at how we can grow our friendships and connections with each other, how we can serve our greater community, how we can grow our physical space and revitalize it if we want to, both inside and out, and cover all manner of things, including how we welcome little ones and newcomers. So it'll be, everything is on the table. Whatever is interesting to you is where you might end up wanting to sit at that table and that kind of thing. And I will be the person leading this session, and I would like you all to please pass this along to anyone who isn't here today, and we'd like as many people as possible to be here for this. And finally, we are fully self-supported at Unity of New Westminster, and we are so grateful for the gifts that we receive that help to support our ministry financially. Many of us do contribute with pre-authorized payments. And so if you are one of those people and you're not putting something in the prayer, in the basket today, then just bless it silently as it passes you. And if you want to give with a credit card, you can also scan the QR code on the screen. And then if you are watching us online and you would like to donate to our ministry, we are so grateful for that. And you'll find a link in the description of the recording. Like and subscribe if you would please as well, so that we can have our message reach more people. Please, no matter where you're giving from, give from a place of abundance and gratitude. We are so blessed. Look at this vibrant community. Isn't it fun?
It is.
It is fun. Let's sing our blessing song.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We are so blessed that you are all here today. Carl, we are always blessed with your beautiful voice and your beautiful music. Wow.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all the people who are serving in various places today. And as we move into our circle and we prepare to sing our peace song, let us first bless these lovely beings of light who are our children. So we've got Seva and Cedar and Silas and Max and Lauren. And then there are some children downstairs watching on the TV down there. We are so happy that you are here. And there is a lovely slide that we're all going to say. Do you guys want to come into the middle? Come on right into the middle over here. Come on up here, Max. All right. We're going to bless you. We're going to say the words that are on our screen, and they are, children of light, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we see the light that shines as you. Let's move into a circle and we'll sing our peace song. Hi, Lauren.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, may this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. I am the light of God, I am the love of God, I am the power of God, I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. I am the light of God, I am the love of God, I am the power of God, I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. You are the light of God, you are the love of God, you are the power of God, you are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. You are the light of God, you are the love of God, you are the power of God, you are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. We are the light of God, we are the love of God, we are the power of God, we are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all